The official patch notes are out for Splatoon 3 2.0 chill season that is coming out in a giant update on the 30th of November, and there are some massive changes I'm super happy about, so let's go through the patch notes together and talk about some of them. If you'd like to follow along with me reading it, I've also attached the patch notes in the description and the pinned comment, so feel free to check it out, and now, let's dig into this. So the update will be happening on the 30th of November at precisely 4 PM PST. And this will include a new catalog, with it new gears, titles, splash tags, decoration stickers, and emotes, so all the cool unlockables players can get. We have seen some of these already on Twitter or the announcement trailer, and they are also mentioning 50 new items that will be added into the item store that can appear to you every day. We are getting the 2 new stages, and now we have a name for the new map called Brinewater Springs, and of course we're also getting Flounder Heights. Marooner's Bay is also coming as a 3rd map to Salmon Run, super happy about it as it's my favorite stage. Really can't wait to see if it got any changes, but it's just a fantastic stage overall. Then, all in all, 13 new weapons will be added, from which 3 are brand new, and they'll be followed by 10 new kits to various different weapons they've been teasing on Twitter. And in case you're out of the loop, the new weapon kits are for Inkbrush, Dapple Doolies, Mini Splatling, Splattershot Jr., Carbon Roller, Slosher, Luna Blaster, Aerospray, and the Splattershot Pro. Table Turf Battle fans can also rejoice as a follow-up to new weapons added. Of course, you are getting 30 new cards of each of them too. Sadly, despite the rumors, no other changes or features to Table Turf Battles mentioned in the patch notes at all for now. There has been some adjustments done to certain weapons. Sadly, once again, nothing to Brellas. I have no idea what they're thinking. At this point, I think they just gave up. First changes to the Tri-Stringer. They have increased its painting potential, and the number of spray droplets generated when firing distantly aimed shots have been increased, which is, I guess, also a bit better painting. Then the Splatana Viper got a cool little buff. Their horizontal slashes, so your normal spam attacks, are now 27% wider, so even easier to hit your opponents along with it, and it will also increase its painting power quite significantly, which is awesome. And the second change also increases that painting power. Overall, a fantastic change, I think, to an already amazing weapon. Sub-weapon wise, they increase the speed of angle shooter by 20% with some additional range, so basically for most of us, there are no changes to sub-weapons at all. Now special changes everyone, this one is hot. Zipcaster received a juicy 67% less ink consumption buff on their main weapon while the special is active. I personally haven't used Zipcaster a lot, so I can't say how useful this is, but it does sound like a massive buff to certain weapons if they're ink hungry. If you're a Zipcaster main, let us know in the comments how big this is. Inkwack and Reef Slider both got a huge damage buff, Inkwack up to 220 damage from 120, and Reef Slider also to 220 damage from 180, where they say the original purpose for this change is to damage big bubblers and Rainmaker shields easier or defeat players with Squid Roll or Squid Surge armor. But now comes everyone's favorite news, Tenta missile nerfs. Yes, they're nerfing missiles. It seems Tenta missiles will have a slowly decreasing special gauge after firing instead of the current instant recharge. I wonder honestly if this was an unintended bug, since if you notice when you fire Tenta missiles you did have a gauge going down for roughly 1 second, but then it just jumped to 0. Well, either way, after the patch we should be seeing this gauge slowly going down for a couple of seconds after firing, delaying all the Tenta missile spam from certain weapons such as the Reflex 450. Overall, this won't change massively anything, but this is a pretty big nerf still. Then they have also went along and changed some special gauge requirements on certain weapons by 10 points, similarly like the last patch, and I feel honestly these aren't really going to be big for most of the weapons. Maybe only the E-Leader might be noticeable since they have a harder time painting, but everyone else, I don't think it's a big change here. On to map changes, Undertow Spillway is getting a minor revamp. It seems they're adding a brand new ramp to allow invading opponents' areas. We don't know exactly where, but I might imagine this is going to allow players to move up to each other's spawns, I would say, similarly like on Sturgeon's Shipyard. Additionally, they say they removed a part of the terrain on the left-hand side when looking from the player start areas, which if I had to guess is this area right here where the chargers usually like to snipe a bit. But that is pretty much it for map changes, nothing else in the patch notes. Now on to ranked mode and the newly added X battles. Let's talk about the great news that from 2.0 players will be able to purposely reset the ranks in Anarchy battles once per season. This means you'll be able to reset your rank to a point that the system determined your skill level to be on, which is likely the hidden matchmaking rating that each player has next to their ranks when it comes to finding proper matches. This should be great news to people who are stuck in rank depth, but personally, my recommendation here is to make sure you don't waste this one-time reset and wait until you really feel you're stuck. They have also finally made it harder to rank up. They are increasing the cost of Anarchy series for each rank by 10 points or 20 points in the case of S rank. It should be more, I think, but this is a move in the right direction to prevent players from reaching ranks they are not ready for and get stuck in rank depth. Then X battles will be available from November the 30th. Players of at least rank S+0 will be able to compete in a brand new league for X power. It will be calculated separately for each mode, like splat zones or tower control, so unlike Anarchy mode, each mode will have its own rating, and it also seems X battles will be a series of 3 matches only. There will be no single matches you can queue for. X battles will be divided into regions, which will be determined the first time you play by selecting the region on your lobby computer, so make sure you have chosen the right region you want to compete in. Now we also got a few changes, including balance changes to Salmon Run, my favorite mode, and they're huge. First of all, Big Run is coming, an event where mass numbers of salmonids swim upstream once every few months, and Salmon Run will be held specifically on regular beta stages or maps we play on. When Big Run ends, players will be able to receive special decorations and awards based on their results, which are calculated based on the highest number of golden eggs collected in a single shift across the entire player base. This basically means overfishing is officially recognized, and the players who manage to collect the most eggs in a shift will get juicy bonuses. I'm really happy about this and I can't wait to see how it will be actually. And finally, the rumored scenario codes are also here. Players will be basically able to save shifts they like or hated, almost like replays, but instead you will be able to save these shifts and replay them anytime or share it with your friends so they can also experience it. You will be able to use these codes in private battles to replay a whole shift with the same waves, same weapons and features you had, and practice especially night waves that we so wanted for a long time, and this is a fantastic feature for all of us to practice and train further in Salmon Run. There are also some balance changes coming, such as big shots finally getting the NERFED. Their movement speed is now reduced by an additional 30% compared to before. So not only will they be slower, but this also means they will shoot 30% less often than before, since it will take longer for them to reload their cannons. Along with this, they also increase the animation for their shots flying in, so players will have more time to react to big shots. Overall, huge change and nerf, and I'm really happy about this, as I think big shots were the only overtuned part in Salmon Run right now, and I think they pretty much fixed it all, but we shall see. They also buffed 4 of our specials in Salmon Run, such as Killer Veil, Tripling Strike, Inkjet, and Booyah Bomb. Killer Veil will now deal 25% increased damage, but most importantly, they have increased its precision when tracking boss salmonids, and if you ever used Killer Veil, you know how annoying it is to use the special, so hopefully this is the change we were waiting for. Tripling Strike also got a nice 25% damage increase, and their guide devices will now trigger when touched by a salmonid, which is an interesting change, but we'll have to check it out in game first. Now on to my favorite changes. Thank you so much, Nintendo. Inkjet and Booyah Bomb users will no longer be targeted by salmonids before returning to your position. Thank you. This was by far the most annoying thing ever for your Inkjet, to end up and jump back into a position where 5 chums and 2 Quahawks are waiting to slap on your head with their pens. Overall, massive change and very welcome. Now about the next change, I already got some questions from the community, but let's read it first. The number of boss salmonids that can appear at once have been capped at 15. When defeating boss salmonids at a regular pace, even at high hazard levels, players will not reach this limit. This change was made because in cases where players are chased down by bosses they cannot splat, the appearance of too many bosses can slow the game down and make it more difficult than necessary to get things back under control. Just like the note says, despite some players thinking this is a nerf, this pretty much changes nothing. You will almost never ever have 15 bosses on the map, or if you do, Well, likely you have already lost the shift to be honest, but this is mainly for maintaining performance of the game as it can get really laggy on high ranks, but I don't think it changes anything big for us. Now the final section for patch 2.0 is about Splatfest and Tricolor battle changes as they promised back in the previous patch. Finally, all players and teams can play either on the attacking or defending side regardless of the halftime results. Thank you Nintendo, the previous halftime winner being on defense was the dumbest thing ever, and it should have been like this all along. Finally, we can all just enjoy Tricolor battles normally. The only difference is that if you're on the attacking or defending side, you will get 50% more clout depending on your Splatfest team's ranking based on halftime results, so the winners get more points on defense side, and the second and the third spot is going to get more points if they're attacking. It doesn't really say if we'll be able to queue up specifically for Tricolor battles, but these changes should already massively change the popularity of the mode, and I can't wait for the next Splatfest. Finally, they're also bringing back what a lot of you have been asking for, and you will be able to take commemorative pictures again after winning 100 times or 333 times battles with your team during Splatfest. The rest of the changes are mostly minor bug fixes and visual changes, but I haven't been able to spot anything very significant for the video, but I do recommend scouring it through if you're very interested in what's inside. They're also featuring what the next patch will be during chill season, and it seems they would most likely like to focus on balance changes for their newly added weapons. But that is it for patch 2.0 everyone, super excited ready for this patch, lots of great changes to all game modes and I can't wait to try it out myself. As always, leave a comment on which change you like the most, or if you would like to add anything to this video. Thank you so much for watching and remember to like and subscribe if you liked it. Patch is almost here, until then, take care everyone, and bye bye.